everyone, it's Kim. Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time watching, thanks for joining. As the title suggests, my time as an undergraduate student at UofT has finally come to an end, and I will be graduating with my Bachelor's of Science in spring 2021. Today I've decided to summarize my undergraduate experience at the University of Toronto when things are still fresh in my mind. I'll also provide an overview of the life science program and whether or not this program or UofT in general opened up opportunities for me to advance my career. I hope this video will put your uncertainty into perspective by giving you a comprehensive review of the program and how I took advantage of all available resources that I am aware of to enrich my undergraduate experience at UofT. Before I start, I want to put out a disclaimer that the comments I make here are according to my experience in the life science program at UofT St. George. The whole purpose of this video is meant to be informative, and I want to share perspectives that are quite different from what has been floating around on the internet for years. Whether you're deciding to join UofT or not, or you're currently in the program and want to know how to get involved in opportunities to enrich your university experience, I hope my story and what I provide here will be of help to you if you're studying life sciences at UofT. I'll cover multiple aspects that people are most interested about when it comes to UofT's life sciences program. The first topic would be life science courses and choosing posts. Second would be academic support. Third, research opportunities. And the fourth topic would be financial aids and awards. Lastly, I will conclude with whether or not I think UofT Life Sciences is different from the infamous impression that it is competitive and cutthroat, and whether or not my experience at UofT led to a change in perspective over the years. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to learn more about strategies for academic success in university. So to catch you up to speed, if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I just completed my 4th year double majoring in immunology and neuroscience and minoring in physiology. So my first year schedule was quite packed. I was taking 5 courses each semester like everyone else. I had courses Monday through Friday, and in case you want to know what courses I've taken in first year, I have made a video in the past. I'll leave a link above so you can check it out. So first year LifeSci courses are largely a review of what you've learned in high school. The professor will introduce new materials progressively over the semester. The courses taught in later years is based on what you've learned in the past. So for example, in first year you learned what a qPCR is, and your instructor in a second year course will expect you to know what it is and what it does. What you learn in the program is cumulative in a sense that you shouldn't relearn fundamental concepts from scratch every year. Each year you're building on top of the material you've learned the year before. In terms of the marking scheme, your performance is evaluated through a combination of assessment chosen by your instructor. Assessments can take the form of a midterm, exam, tutorial, quizzes, paper, in-lab performance, and in-class performance. The evaluations are broken down differently depending on your course instructor, but generally speaking, for life science courses, 1 to 2 midterms and a final exam are very common, and they're weighted heavier than quizzes and papers. With regards to the format of a midterm or exam, I realized there is a shift in format over the years. Early on, midterms and exams in most first and second year courses constitutes multiple choice questions, whereas starting from third year, more short answer and essay type of questions are incorporated to midterms and exams. Designing experiments are very common midterm questions in upper year courses because your professors know that the toolbox and critical thinking you developed over the years will suffice and help you answer those questions. Some professors will throw in a couple challenging questions that require you to put more thoughts into your answer, and their goal is to separate the cohort of students who fall into different grade categories. Usually, to receive an A- or above in a course, you should display strong evidence of original thinking, good organization and analytical capacity, and also other stuff in this list. Feel free to pause the video and read through the grade definition if you're interested. Long and short of it is that if you want to excel in the program, it's beyond recalling what you've memorized a week before. You must demonstrate the capacity of being a critical and comprehensive thinker. I definitely wasn't born with these skills and was not great at it in first year, but when I find my way to study and become familiar with predicting what a professor might ask on a midterm, it becomes an innate response to think scientifically and logically, if you will. So all LifeSci students are on a steep learning curve, and the expectation is that you become proficient with the material within a short period of time because you only have 3 to 4 months in each semester. If you plan on taking courses in the summer to reduce your course load in the fall-winter session, you could, and I know some people do that for various reasons. The course instructor in the summer might be different from the regular instructor who is teaching the same course in the fall-winter session. I have only taken one summer course in the past, and the course instructor was changed to a PhD candidate in the summer. My justification of taking a summer course is that 1, there are course conflicts in the fall-winter session, 2, that course is a prerequisite for other courses I have to take in the following year, and I won't be able to enroll in other courses without that prerequisite. If that's the case, I would take the course in the summer to avoid any delays in program completion. But of course, you're not obligated to finish your degree within 4 years, so choose what works best for you. Right now, I am graduating with more credits than I need, and I just want to point out that any extra credits will count towards your GPA unless the course was marked as EXT on your transcript. For this reason, some people choose to do it 5th year and take more credits than they need to increase their CGPA. Keep in mind that more credits you accumulated, additional credits have less of an impact on your GPA because it stabilizes over time and it becomes harder to change with more credits you have. At the end of your first year, you'll apply for a post, and a really brief explanation for the ones who are not familiar. LifeSci students are undeclared in first year. We are admitted to the LifeSci stream, but we do not have a program of study. Post is the program you choose to study for the remaining time of your degree. In other words, post is your specialist or major or minor. Whatever combination you choose, you'll take courses that are relevant to your post after first year. And the goal is to narrow down the scope of study to the area you choose to specialize in. In my case, immunology, neuroscience, and physiology are my post. So there are 2 questions I get asked the most by students who are studying at UofT. Number 1, would it be better if you do a specialist instead of a double major? Number 2, do professional programs have a preference regarding what discipline or which major you were in before applying to medical school or grad school? The real advantage of doing a specialist is that specialists have priority enrollment for certain courses, as they're given a chance to enroll into courses before majors and minors. But that doesn't mean you have 0 chance in enrolling into smaller classes if you're majoring or minoring. Many students in the seminar courses I have taken are in the major stream. So if you're asking me, I think the advantage of doing a specialist might be smaller than it sounds. As a specialist, you will develop a deeper and more extensive understanding of that area, which is great for people who know exactly what area they want to pursue in the future. Whereas the major will allow you to broaden your education and be more well-rounded with the subject matter. I went with the double major option because I am most interested in immunology and neuroscience. And I don't want to settle on a particular field just yet because I want to explore as much as I can in my undergrad. Most importantly, if you ever decide to change posts, you can apply to switch posts the year after. To answer both questions, whether you choose to do a specialist or major, or choosing neuroscience or other posts, they do not limit your opportunities or dictate the path you take in the future. Graduating as a neuroscience specialist instead of a neuroscience major does not affect your chance of getting into professional programs such as graduate school and medical school. Your post is not the main determinant for admission to professional programs. For example, medical schools in Ontario accept students from a diverse range of academic background and disciplines. And even according to UofT itself, the most suitable undergraduate program for admission to their MD program does not exist. Before I move on, please like this video so that YouTube will show this video to even more people. And if you enjoy my content so far, please consider subscribing to my channel for future releases. Now back to this video. The next topic I will address is academic support. First year class size varies from 500 to 1500 students, but class size is progressively reduced in subsequent years. And I know there are rumors flowing on the internet that the dropout rate of life science is 50%. And to be honest, I still see a lot of familiar faces after first year, and all of my friends who I met in first year did not drop out since. And like I've said many times in previous videos, just take what you read online with a grain of salt. First year courses, especially the ones held in Convocation Hall, have the most resources for students to ask questions and get help outside of lectures. There are lots of TAs in these courses, and they're accessible through email, tutorials, or labs. Profs themselves or TAs will hold review session before a midterm or exam. Usually professors will have office hour on a weekly basis. Aside from your professor's office hour, some TAs will set up office hour for students in their tutorial session. Also, this is a very important tip for you to know. If you're asking for feedback before you submit an assignment, try to find out which TA is responsible for marking your assignment. Ask that TA for feedback instead of asking the professors, because in my experience, there is discrepancy between professors and TAs, and even among TAs themselves, especially when they're marking an assignment in which the marking is subjective and no black and white per se. Upper year courses will allow you to have more direct support and interaction with the professor because of smaller class sizes. The support that is available to students is proportional to the number of students in your cohort. As you go to third and fourth year, class sizes are significantly smaller. There are fewer TAs, but they're still accessible, and you have more opportunities for interaction and building a deeper relationship with the course instructor. So another place you might want to visit for advice on a writing assignment is the writing center offered by your college. These are one-on-one meetings with the writing instructor to discuss your paper, to build your writing techniques, and help you to articulate your ideas if you get stuck in the process of crafting your paper. And lastly, about reference letter. So professors do write reference letter. Keep in mind that professors have a lot of responsibility aside from teaching, and you're probably not the only student who asked them for a reference letter, so make sure you ask them early and give them enough time to write that letter. Also, asking a professor who you had a couple interaction with will only get you a weak and generic reference letter. So unless you have significant interaction with the referee, for example, your supervisor in a research project, the chances are that letter will only provide a limited scope of your academic potential and gives no insight on who you are as a person. All in all, it is very possible to do well in UofT Life Sciences if you take initiative and take advantage of the resources available here. There is a huge repertoire for research at UofT across all three campuses and other research institutes and hospitals that are affiliated with UofT. Several types of research positions are available to undergraduate students at UofT. You can volunteer at a lab, or you can take research courses for credit. You can also participate in summer research program or apply for work study positions. On the GLSE website, go to Undergraduate Education and click on Undergraduate Research Opportunities. What I really like about this website is that you can browse through different research programs and research courses. So use the filter here to help you to narrow down opportunities offered by different departments or hospitals. Second year and third year students can apply for ROP. Upper year students can do independent research projects offered by various LifeSci departments. Some departments have their own summer research programs. And on the Career Learning Network, I have also seen work-study positions for research assistants. In most cases, you will have to secure a supervisor before you submit the application for the research program or independent research project. And the most typical way of securing a PI is through cold calling. So start with the faculty listing and read through every single PI's research interests. If you find a professor whose research area aligns with your research interests, reach out to the professor, send them an email, ask if they're looking for undergraduate student to join their lab, schedule a meeting with them to chat about opportunities, and get a feel of their personality. If you don't get along with your supervisor, your experience will be horrible no matter how famous the lab is. If you saw my previous video, you probably know that I am involved in research. I started research quite late in my academic career. Most of my friends did research in their third year, and some even started as a first-year student. Although most research positions for first-year students tend to be dry lab, and you might not be doing research independently, but I mean it still counts as research experience, so why not? But my point is that no matter which year you're in, it's never too early or too late to start. For some people, it might only take 5 emails to secure a PI, but I have sent out 60 emails at one point and only a couple responded. So don't lose hope, keep sending them out. You might get a lot of no's or even no replies, but remember, all you need is one person to say yes. Make sure you reach out to PI early, I would say 4 to 5 months before you intend to begin research, so that both the PI and you have sufficient time to apply for available fundings. It's always nice in the perspective of a PI to have additional funding for your research project and your stipend instead of paying everything out of their pocket. The best way for you to find scholarships is to go on Awards Explorer. This platform will help you to find awards and scholarships offered by different faculty, departments, and colleges at UofT. To find the scholarships you're eligible for, you can use the filters above to narrow down your options. For example, if you are a new student entering first year of the program, choose admission for award type, whereas current students should choose in-course or graduating depending on your status. Awards that require applications will be indicated as yes in this column. If it says no, you will be automatically considered for the award if you're deemed eligible. In terms of studentship and research awards, you might be able to find them on the GLSU website under Research Program and Summer Research Studentships. Being a LifeSci student is definitely not a walk in the park. I went through trials after trials of challenges that had an impact on my self-esteem, mental health, and even on my GPA. Compared to high school when I was getting straight A's, my GPA in first year dropped significantly. But I'm not saying it's impossible to get a good GPA in first year or in later years. In fact, I worked super hard to recover from a low GPA, and I will be graduating with high distinction, which is given to students who has a CGPA over 3.5. Although your marks are certainly important, it's not the be-all and end-all. Remember that in a pool of students with a competitive GPA, the only way that will make you stand out from the crowd is your experience and achievement outside of class. Your extracurriculars, research experience, volunteering experience, awards and scholarship, publication and abstract, etc. So find mentors that will help you to grow your experience. So not everyone here at UofT Life Sciences is hostile and cold. In reality, because everyone knows that this is not an easy program, many students are very generous and willing to help each other out by creating study groups and sharing their resources. I've seen people who are complete strangers to me voluntarily share their lecture notes and lecture recordings on Facebook groups. There's no way you can avoid competition because it exists everywhere you go, but the competition I experience at UofT is nothing close to being cutthroat or unhealthy. Most of it comes from how much you want to push yourself, and being surrounded by high achievers, I was always motivated to improve. For some people, it might take some time for them to develop a sense of belonging in a school, but keep grinding, actively search for opportunities, and make connection by reaching out to people. Reaching out to people with a purpose should not be viewed negatively, especially at UofT when you're given a well-established network filled with diversity. So take advantage of what UofT has to offer when you still have full access to them. Show your enthusiasm and passion and be honest about your goals. You never know who will respond and give you that opportunity. Once you get your foot in the door, everything else becomes easier and more opportunities will open up later on. What I want you to take away from this video is that the name and prestige itself will not get you far. at least not in North America. I know other cultures might be different and still value the name of your degree. Being a UofT student did not automatically provide me a job, and neither the opportunities were spoon-fed to me. Medical school or grad school do not give special treatment just because you did your undergrad at UofT. Coming to UofT will not ruin your dreams of going to medical school or grad school. In fact, I got accepted to a postgrad program, and I'll be starting full-time research at UofT in the upcoming fall. No matter which program or school you're in, there are strengths and limitations. What you view as disadvantage could be advantage to someone else and vice versa. There are so many examples that go by subjective measures, and experience will vary from person to person even if they do the same set of things, because we all have different personalities and different perception of a situation to begin with. So drawbacks and benefits, it's a matter of perspective, but ask yourself, what is important to you? What do you want your university experience to be? Does UofT provide the resource and opportunity for you to achieve your goals? Here's what I tell people when they ask whether or not it is the right decision to come to UofT. No matter how much you ponder on this question, you will only get a spectrum of answer from different people with different experience. You might not come to a conclusion because ultimately, your experience is what you make of it. So to end this video with my initial question, do I regret coming to UofT for life sciences? Absolutely not. I hope this has been a helpful video, and thanks for watching till the very end. Stay safe and take care. Bye!